Welcome back to the Spire video blog. Today we're talking BLT, the Spire BLT that is, which is our signature version of the classic bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. We put our own little twist on it, and I'd like to share that with you today. Our BLT has become quite popular here at the restaurant. We created it for our first menu, and we opened about 8 months ago, and we're by no means could we anticipate the popularity of the sandwich. It's become so popular, in fact, that we created a whole week around the BLT and built the world's longest BLT back in February, breaking the world record that grew to 367.5 feet. So we're going to start off with our bacon. If Becca can come down into our bacon. This is bacon from Sims Meat Processing. It's a thick cut bacon, as you can see. And it's smoked here right in LaPorte. Craig Sims is the butcher and does a fantastic job. And this is about a pound of bacon, and we're going to sprinkle it with about 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar. We don't want a lot of sugar so that it doesn't cover the bacon completely, just enough to give it a nice bit of sweetness. Then we're going to sprinkle it with a little bit of black pepper. This is going to go into a 350-degree oven then for about 15 to 20 minutes on the home oven, conventional oven, or until it gets as crispy as you would like it. And you can certainly raise the heat, or if you have a convection oven, just cut that time in half. Thank you, Sarah. So we're going to move on to the next part of our BLT, and it's something we also make here at the restaurant, is our garlic aioli. So Becky, you want to come a little bit closer? Our garlic aioli has 5 ingredients. It's very simple. We're going to start off with 6 cloves of garlic. It goes into a food processor. We've got 6 egg yolks as well. Our eggs come from Barefoot Acres here in LaPorte. We've got 1/2 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice. And we're going to put a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper in there as well. It's easier to do this in a food processor. You get a greater emulsification from your aioli. If you try to do it by hand and add the oil too fast, and it can happen here as well, you won't get a nice thick garlic aioli or mayonnaise that you would like to see on a BLT. So we're going to turn our food processor on, and we've got about 3 cups of olive oil. And we're going to slowly, if you can see how slow I'm adding the oil at the beginning, it's just a drop at a time. It's important that we create this emulsification because we're trying to incorporate 2 ingredients, the eggs and the oil, that don't normally go together. Okay, they're like oil and vinegar, so to speak. So we are adding the oil slowly so that it incorporates and we get a nice thick homogeneous mixture from our garlic aioli. And we do this usually 2 to 3 times a week. We make this garlic aioli in the same exact portions. We try not to do large portions of what we make here, just simply because we want to keep it as fresh as we possibly can, as long as we can. So we'd rather make things in small batches and spend more time throughout the week prepping certain items. So as you can see here, the aioli is starting to lighten up and it's starting to get thicker. And as we're processing this, the garlic is being ground down into a fine paste as well. This is the start of any aioli. You can turn this into a red pepper aioli by adding some roasted red peppers, or you can turn this into any herb-flavored aioli like chive or tarragon or basil. And simply add those fresh herbs or other ingredients. At this point, you could certainly add them and they would get mixed in and create a nice mixture for any sandwich or as a dip for vegetables. As you start to see your aioli starting to thicken up, you can start to add the oil in a more steady stream. Again, not pouring it in all at once, you want to add it in slowly. I find that it works better if you have a squirt bottle. It helps to control the flow and how fast you add the olive oil, just a little bit more. But you can certainly use a measuring cup with a spout on it. That'll help control some more as well. At the restaurant, we have made different versions of this, including a ramp aioli. If you'll remember the ramps that we found a couple of weeks ago in our one of our last video blogs. We've also done a leek aioli as well, which are both quite popular. And an aioli is simply a mayonnaise that's got garlic added to it. So as you can see, it's starting to get really thick here, and our oil is just about incorporated. And then as soon as it's done, we'll assemble our BLT. We've got 5 components to our BLT, all of which are special and unique in their own way. So just about finished. This would be a good time for instrumental music as well. So as you can see, if you zoom in on our aioli, it's gotten rather thick. And if you step back, I can grab a spoon. And you can see how thick it is. That's the perfect consistency for an aioli. Okay. So our BLT starts off with 2 slices of the white bread we make here at the restaurant. It's just a basic white bread. We've toasted both sides with just a little olive oil. On one half, we're going to take our signature tomato jam. This is something that we have found has just added our signature touch to this BLT. And I'd share that recipe with you today, but I think we've run out of time on this vlog. If you'd like the recipe to this, I'd be more than happy to share it with you. Just email me or send me a message on Facebook. Then I'm going to add a few pieces of heirloom lettuce that comes from Chef's Gardens. We're just going to add a few slices of that. And then we've got that bacon, that candied bacon, which we're going to add 4 slices of that to our BLT. And then to the top half, we do a nice layer of that garlic aioli. And then that finishes our BLT. And we typically, at this point, we'll cut it in half. And this goes really well with any of our Spire made fries or chips, our salads. I particularly enjoy this with our white bean chorizo soup, which has become our signature soup here at the restaurant. So there you have it. This is the signature Spire BLT. Thanks for joining us today. Becca's going to get one more shot. We look forward to seeing you at the restaurant, and like always, if you have any comments or feedback, please feel free to share them with us on our Facebook page, Spire Farm and Fort Cuisine, or on our Twitter page, @Spire Farm and Fort. Until next time.